Okay, so as I said, today's class is Happy Hips class, and there is multiple ways of making the hips happy. happy. Um, One of the ways that is very popular in yoga is about stretching. So there is a lot of hip opening, hip stretches to release the tension from there, because we tend to be very tight in that area. But one other option is to work more on the strength, on strengthening the muscles around the hips, to make not just the hips happy, but then it affects the whole body, the legs, the knees, the feet, the back. So many things are affected by that. And I always like to do a combination of both. Although today, because I think last week we were working a little bit more on strength, this week we're gonna work a little bit more on the stretching side of that, but still we're gonna do some exercises that are very good and helpful to strengthen the muscles around the hips, just because I think that this is something that is forgotten about in classical yoga. Many times we don't really do that, but it is very, very helpful for me. To me, it changed completely the way I feel after I started doing those things, especially because I have a knee problem, and since I started working on the muscles around the hips, my knee problem decreased a lot. Like the pain is almost gone, and I have much more mobility. And mobility is something that we forget about also in yoga, as we are focusing so much on flexibility. So I like to find a balance. It's never good to go into any extreme. It's always good to find a balance between both, and this is what we're gonna be doing today. So Nidhi, can I just ask you to please switch your video on so I'm able to see you? And I'm gonna move to my mat, and we're gonna start lying on the back today. So please make your way down onto your back, and as you lay down, you can find any position that is comfortable for you. It can be with your knees bent or with your legs extended in Shavasana. Whatever works for you. Just make yourself comfortable. And arrive with your full attention into this space, into this room you're in, leaving all the other worries and problems and everything that is happening in the world outside of this room. This is the time for yourself to do something good for yourself. Dedicate this time to you and not to some worries or plans for later or something like that. This can all wait. Bring your attention to your yoga mat and to your body resting on the yoga mat. And just notice how you feel today, in this moment, in your body. Do a mental body scan just to check how you feel from the crown of the head to the tips of the toes. Trying to relax your body as much as you can right now. Then bring your attention to your breath. Become aware of your natural, spontaneous breath. Really noticing each inhalation and each exhalation. By focusing on the breath, arriving into the present moment and arriving to this practice. Now starting to wiggle the fingers and toes. Maybe giving ourselves a stretch, so maybe you can reach your arms overhead, stretch your body. Good, and then we're gonna bend the knees if they're not bent already. Bringing the feet and knees hip distance apart, walking the heels a bit closer to your sit bones. Bringing the arms on the floor on the mat next to your torso. Pressing your feet down on your next inhale, start lifting your hips away from the mat as high as you can, and at the same time reaching the arms up and over the head, placing them on the floor there. And as you're exhaling, you're lowering your hips and you're bringing your arms down next to your torso again. Now keep flowing like this with your breath. Inhaling, lifting up, reaching the arms overhead. Exhaling, lowering down, releasing the arms down. Keep going. And as you flow like this, start noticing which muscles start to awaken. Where do you start feeling it? You're moving slowly with your breath, no sudden movements, no rushing. Good, and then on your next inhale, as you reach your arms over your head and you lift your hips, hold that position for a moment. Just make sure your knees stay hip distance, so you're still kind of pulling your thighs towards each other to keep that distance between the knees. You're not relaxing your legs. And then lifting the hips even higher, noticing the engagement in your body. Taking one more inhale. And as you exhale, slowly releasing down. Maybe moving the knees left and right a few times to release the tension around your pelvis, lower back. Good, and then from here, bring your knees to your chest, holding each knee with one hand. And just know that your hands are here to guide your knees, not to push. So guide your knees apart, as far apart as you can, and then bring them down together again and towards your chest. Separating the knees, so you're kind of drawing circles with your knees. Good, and then reverse. So you're always separating the knees. So you're not keeping your knees together, but you're separating them so that you're feeling the sensation in your hips. But please do listen to my cues, because my cues are very important, especially for finding the engagement, in the right engagement in the body, okay? And then from here, slowly stop the next time your knees come to your chest. Good, and then placing your feet down, keeping your, so on your mat, keeping your feet and knees together. You can rest your hands on your belly or on the floor next to you. This here is your inhale. You're squeezing your knees together, and as you're exhaling, you're pressing your knees apart. So it's not just about lowering your legs towards each side, but it's really about pressing the knees away from each other, so you feel an engagement in your inner thighs and around your hips. So inhaling, you're bringing your knees together, squeezing them together. Exhaling, you're pressing your knees away from each other. So this is where my cues get important. So you can just do that, you can just move your legs up and down, but it's not the same. It's not the same engagement. So pressing your knees together on the inhale, pressing your knees away from each other on the exhale. You will notice it's different. And this is something I cannot show, so that's why don't just copy what I do with my body, but try to listen to my cues, to what I'm saying, because that's more important. Good. From here, when you bring your knees together the next time, we're gonna roll over to one side. So, choose a side where you can see me, so you're not rolling away from me. So turn to the side with your knees bent, and then come up onto your the arm that is underneath, so the lower arm, onto the elbow. And feel free, if it's uncomfortable, to double up the mat to put it under the elbow if you need to. My mat is quite thick, so for me it's okay, but I don't know your mat. And then from here, this other hand can be either on the floor in front of you or on the upper hip. And here we're gonna be lifting the hips, so the knees stay down, the elbow stays down, and on your next inhale, you're lifting your hips as high as you can. As you exhale, you lower them down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more, inhale. And then exhale, slowly release and roll over to the other side. Inhaling, lifting your hips. Exhaling, lowering down. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. One more. Good. And then from here, slowly picking yourself up, coming onto your hands and knees, tabletop position, turning towards what's the front of your mat. Bring your knees under your hips, your wrists under your shoulders, spread your fingers wide. On your inhale, point your tailbone up, lower your belly, your heart pulling you forward, your chin up. As you exhale, tuck your tailbone under, round your back, press your chin towards your chest. Inhale, you're dropping your belly, arching your back, lifting your chin. Exhaling, rounding your back. Cat and cow. Do that a few more times. Follow the rhythm of your breath. Good. On your next inhale, return back to center. So find a neutral position for your pelvis and your spine. Stay here for the exhale. On your inhale, you're going to lift your left leg behind you. Keep it bent at a 90-degree angle and flex your foot. This is to feel the gluteus muscles and lift it as high as you can. As you exhale, bring your knee forward, squeezing your thigh towards your torso. So it's not just knee to nose. Your head can stay where it is. Doesn't have to go down, but press your thigh in towards your torso. Inhale, lift your leg behind you. Don't forget to flex your foot. Exhale, squeeze your thigh in. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Now bring your leg back down. Now same leg, so still left leg, will go to the side. So on your inhale, you're lifting your leg to the side, not leaning to the right too much. So keeping your right hip over your right knee. Exhaling down. Inhale, lift it to the side. Exhale. One more. Inhale. And exhale, release this side. Now bring your right leg behind you, flex your foot. Exhale, squeeze your thigh in towards your torso. Inhale, lift and flex. Exhale, squeeze in. One more like that. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Then slowly release. On your next inhale, lift your right leg to the side without leaning to the left too much. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift your leg to the right side. Exhale. And one more. Inhale. And then exhale to slowly release. Good. From here, we're going to move the hands a bit more forward on the mat. Tucking the toes under, inhaling, pressing the sit bones towards the heels. As we exhale, we're lifting into our first downward facing dog. Pressing the palms of the hands into the mat. Paddling the feet a little bit. Releasing some tension from the back of the legs. Good, and then from here we're going to walk or step to the front of the mat. Bringing the feet hip distance apart. And then we're going to point the toes out a little bit, maybe towards the corners, front corners of your mat, to come down into Malasana squat. So just make sure that your toes and your knees are pointing in the same direction. Lengthening through your spine. On your next inhale, with a straight back, rise all the way up to standing. Circle the arms around above your head. Exhaling, sitting down into Malasana, separating the knees. Inhale, rising up again. Exhaling down. One more, inhale. And as you exhale, sitting down into Malasana, let's meet here. Now don't worry about the upper body so much, but what you want to do is lift your hips a little bit so that you feel the engagement around your hips, so that you're not just resting here, but you're working. So lift your hips slightly away from the floor. It doesn't matter if your heels are up or down, just lift them to feel the engagement. Good, and then from here, slowly release. Bring your hands down. Extend your legs into a forward fold, pointing the toes forward towards the front of your mat. Inhale, coming into a half lift. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhaling, rising up to standing, arms reaching up. Exhaling, hands in front of the chest. Good. We are standing at the front of the mat now, and we're going to walk back towards the back of the mat backwards by making big circles from our hips. So pick up one leg, make a big circle, step it back. Stand on this leg now and then do the same with the other leg, and you're going one by one, Big circles. Awakening your hips even more. Until you reach the back of the mat. You're moving slowly. And once you reach the back of the mat, go forward. So same, big circles. Make them as big. You can use your arms for balance because you're making the circles so big that you might feel like you need more stability, more balance. Good, until you reach the front of the mat again and you bring your feet hip distance apart there. And on your next inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. As you exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come into a half lift. Exhale, step back to plank. Push the floor away, inhale. And as you exhale, lower all the way down onto your belly. Untuck your toes, inhale, lift your heart into cobra. Feel your back muscles working. As you exhale, release your cobra and press to downward facing dog. On your inhale, you're gonna lift your right leg up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, bend your right knee and bring it forward to the right wrist. So right knee to right wrist, place your leg down, your right leg down. Find an angle for the front shin that feels comfortable for your knee, doesn't matter. And then lower your back knee down. Your hips are leveled, so you're not sitting on either side. Okay, keep the toes of your left foot tucked. And then from here, try bringing your hands in front of your chest. So you have to activate your right knee. Imagine it's trying to pull towards the back of the mat, and your left knee is trying to pull towards the front of the mat. And if this is too much for your lower back, you can lean forward a little bit. Doesn't matter if you're upright or not. Try to feel the activation in your lower body. If this is not possible to keep your hands in front of the heart, keep them on the floor, but just slightly for support. So you're not relying on the arms, but you're feeling the activation in your lower body. Good, now from here we're gonna release the hands down onto the mat, relaxing the lower body a little bit. Inhale, lift your heart. As you exhale, go with your chest down towards the mat, as low as you can. Inhaling, we're coming back up, lifting the heart. Exhaling down. And one more inhale. And as you exhale, go all the way down, maybe onto your elbows, maybe making a pillow with your hands for your forehead. You can untuck the toes of your left foot and release the weight of the body down, noticing the stretch, the sensation. Good, from here we're gonna come up onto the hands and we're gonna tuck the toes of the left foot again to press all the way back to downward facing dog. Taking a breath or two here. And then we're gonna lift the left leg up, inhale. And as you exhale, bring your left knee to your left wrist. Find a position for the foot so that your knee is comfortable, and then lower the right knee, keeping the toes stacked, because if you keep the toes stacked, it's easier to engage. So level up your hips, pull your right knee towards the front of the mat, your left knee towards the back of the mat, maybe bringing your hands in front of your heart, or just supporting yourself maybe on your fingertips. So you keep an engagement in your lower body, very active pigeon. Good, from here bringing the hands down, inhaling, lifting the heart, exhaling, going with the heart down towards the floor. Inhale, lift your heart high, exhale down. One more, inhale. And this time, as you exhale, go all the way down, lower down, maybe on your elbows or chest down to the mat or forehead onto the hands. You can untuck the toes of your right foot and release the weight of the body down. Now there is no pain in your knee, in your left knee. Feeling the sensation more around the left hip. Good, and then from here, slowly coming up onto the hands, tucking the toes of your right foot under to step back to downward facing dog. Good. From downward facing dog, walk or step all the way to the front of your mat. Inhale into a half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, we're coming all the way up to standing, arms reaching up. Exhaling, hands in front of the chest. Good. You can relax your arms, take a step back so that you turn towards the long edge of the mat. With your feet separated as far apart as it's comfortable for you. You don't have to overdo it, but also not too close together. So try to find something in the middle, something that is comfortable. And then from here, you're just gonna pull your heels in a little bit so that the toes are pointing out slightly. And then we're gonna extend the arms and the legs on the inhale. And as we exhale, we're gonna bend the elbows and bend the knees. So here, find your goddess squat. Your knees are pushing away from each other. Just like we did before on the floor, we were pushing the knees towards the floor. Now we're also pushing the knees away from each other to feel it in the hips. And also make sure once you're here that you're not leaning forward too much. You want to keep your shoulders over your hips, and you don't point your tailbone back, but you tuck it under a little bit, pulling the pubic bone towards the navel. Good, as you are pressing your knees away from each other. Finding that sensation in the hips. So it doesn't matter how low or high you are, you can try to go lower if you want, but focus on that, pressing the knees away from each other. Good, from here bring your hands on your hips. Inhale, keep your knees bent. As you exhale, you're going forward into a forward fold with your knees bent. You can bring your hands on the floor for more support, but keep your knees bent so that the sensation is more in the hips, not so much in the back of the legs. Good, and then once your legs get tired, you can try extending your legs more. Even if you don't extend them completely, and even if your toes are still pointing out, don't worry. Just try to extend your legs a little bit. Good. And then from here, we're gonna hands down, place the hands down on the mat. Inhale, coming into a half lift with the upper body. Exhaling, slowly walking the feet towards each other, coming hip distance apart, and then again pointing the toes out and coming again into our Malasana squat. So bending the knees, knees and toes pointing in the same direction, elbows to the insides of the knees. This time we're not lifting the hips, so we're keeping a more relaxed Malasana. Still keeping the pull from the heart up to keep the length in the spine. A few breaths here. Good, and then from here we're gonna use the hands to support ourselves, to sit back onto the mat, staying right where we are. So we are now somewhere in the middle of the mat, probably. Sitting more towards the back edge of the mat. Bending the knees, separating the legs a little bit, bringing the hands on the floor behind you. And then from here, just move your knees left and right a few times, noticing the sensation in your legs, in your hips. Good, and I'm gonna mirror you. So the next time we go to the left, turn to the left. Completely. So you're turning towards the left edge, short edge of your mat, and then position your legs so that everything is at a 90 degrees. So there's a 90-degree angle of your knees and between both legs. And then here, it's completely okay to support yourself with your right hand. So just keep your left hand on the left side. So if I turn a little bit towards you, it's probably hard to stay up like this, so support yourself with your hand. So place it down. The only thing that you don't want to do is lean forward too much or lean back too much. You want to stay centered with your torso. And then again, this is something that you cannot really see in my body so much, the engagement, so you have to listen. Press your left knee down into the mat so much that the left foot maybe starts lifting off the floor. So focus on pressing your left knee down. And as you do that, you will find an engagement all around your hips. All the muscles around the hips and the core are working here. So just press your knee down. Keep pressing. Make sure you're breathing. It's a very active pose, even if on the outside it looks like we're not doing anything. Very active pose. Good, and then slowly relax. Release. Now bringing your attention to your right knee, so to the back knee. Doing the same here, but what we tend to do is to cheat. We lean forward so that we can lift the foot high. Try not to do that. That's why I said keep your torso centered. Press your right knee down. Maybe your right foot will lift. Again, your goal is not to lift your foot as high as you can and move your pelvis, but it's about pressing the knee down. Keep pressing. Notice the sensation around your hips. Good, and then slowly release. Bring your hands behind you and just lean back diagonally from your left foot, just leaning back as far as it's comfortable for you, maybe just a little bit. This is where we want to feel the stretch, so in the right hip. Good, and then from here we're gonna slowly come up, turning towards the front leg. In this case, this is our left leg. Inhale, lift your heart, and as you exhale, go down over your leg. Maybe chest towards the knee, or maybe chest towards the calf. Going down, maybe supporting yourself with your elbows, or maybe again making a pillow with your hands for your head. Just release the upper body down. Try to flex your left foot a little bit so that you feel the stretch more around your left hip. Good. Now from here, we're going to slowly come up onto the hands. And the left leg stays exactly the way it is. You will be tempted to move this foot down. Try not to. Keep it the way it is. So your shin is parallel to the short edge of the mat. As you will support yourself with your hands, you will pick up your right leg and you're going to bring it across, foot all the way across the left leg into the floor, pressing down. Now this side here, this hip, this side of your buttocks will stay lifted, and that's okay. You want it to be lifted. You don't want to place it down because we're moving the stretch into the hip, not so much in the back. Also in the back, but not so much. So try to keep your feet active here. Support yourself with your right hand anywhere behind you so that you feel more comfortable, and then wrap your left arm around your leg and twist towards your right, maybe even looking back over your right shoulder. Noticing the stretch around the hip also, not just in the back. One more inhale. As you exhale, slowly untwist. So turn forward. And now you're going to bring your right foot in front of the left knee. So before you were crossing it over, now you're bringing it in front of the knee. So if I turn a little bit to the side, this is where you want it. So that then you're going to lower the knee down and you're here. So you don't want to come into a cross-legged position. So again, your left leg will stay just the way it was. And the only thing you're adding is your right leg here. And then you can reposition yourself so you're more centered. And if you look down, you're making an upside-down triangle with your legs. Your shins are still parallel to the short edge of the mat. So we're not doing this. We're not doing a cross-legged position, but firelock pose. So your knees and your feet approximately in the same line. Maybe your knees are higher than mine, maybe your knees are lower than mine. This is different in different bodies, but just try to flex your feet. Place your hands on the floor next to you. Inhale, lift your heart. And as you exhale, try to move from your pelvis with a straight back as you lean forward over your legs. And you find that stretch around your hips. Flexing your feet will help with that. And then if you want, you can also bring your hands forward. Maybe you can come down onto the elbows. Release your upper body down. If you're rounding your back and you're not feeling the stretch in your hips, then try not to. Try to come higher instead and try to move more from your pelvis forward. So not head down, but heart forward. Know that you don't have to go down onto the elbows. This is not your goal. Your goal is to feel the stretch in your hips. And it can be quite an intense stretch if you do it right. So just breathe through that discomfort. Try to find ease in the pose. Good. From here, we're going to slowly come back up. Lean onto your left hand so that you can bring your right leg back. Again to 90-90. And then bringing your hands behind you, coming back to center. Moving the legs left and right a few times before we do the other side. And then when you're ready, the next time you go to your right, turn completely to the right. Take some time to find a good position so that everything is at a 90 degree. You are now bringing your right hand on the floor, leaning towards the right a little bit, keeping your torso centered, so not leaning too much forward or back. And bringing your attention now to the right knee, pressing your knee down as much as you can, so maybe that your right foot will lift off the floor or not. But focus on pressing that knee down and focus on the sensation you're feeling all around your hips, in your lower body, in your core. Keep pressing that knee down. And then relax. Bring your attention to your left knee. And now press your left knee down without leaning forward with your torso too much. So just press your knee down to maybe lift your foot. And again, notice the engagement. On the outside, it looks like a resting pose almost. But on the inside, your body is working a lot. Good. And then slowly releasing this side as well. From here, we're going to bring the hands behind us. We're going to lean back diagonally from the right foot. Again, going back as far as it feels comfortable for you. Some people can go further than me, maybe on the elbows. But that's not the point. As long as you're feeling the stretch in your hip, that's okay. You're doing it right. Good. From here, slowly coming back up. Turning now towards your right leg. Inhale, lift your heart. As you exhale, you're going with your chest down. Maybe heart to the knee or maybe heart to the calf. Supporting yourself maybe with the elbows, or if you're able to, bring your head down on your pillow that you're making with your hands. Keep flexing your right foot to increase the stretch around your right hip now. Just release the weight of your upper body down over the leg. And try to release the tension with each exhalation. And then from here, slowly coming up again. Supporting yourself again with your right hand so that you can pick up your left leg and bring your foot all the way across. So your right leg stays the same way. So the shin is parallel to the short edge of the mat. You're not moving this leg. The left side of your buttocks stays lifted, so you don't place it down, don't force it. So keep it lifted. Support yourself with your left hand and then wrap your right arm around your leg, turning your chest towards the left, turning your head back. And while this hip, this side of your buttocks is lifted, you're moving the stretch there. That's where you're feeling it. Of course, also in the back, but we're focusing a bit more on the hips today. Now slowly release this twist, so untwist, turn forward. Keeping the right leg still the same way, you're just moving your left foot in front of the right knee. So just placing it in front of the knee and then releasing that knee down, the left knee over your opposite ankle. Reposition yourself so that you're more centered, and when you look down you see an upside down triangle that you're making with your legs. Your shins parallel to the short edge of the mat for firelock position or double pigeon. Hands can be on the floor. Inhale, lift your heart, and as you exhale, make sure you're tilting your pelvis forward. So you're moving from your pelvis, your heart pulling forward, because if you stay stuck in your pelvis and you just go from your back, from your spine, you're not really feeling it in your hips. And today we're focusing on the hips. So try to go forward. You can bring your hands or forearms forward in front of the legs, but try to keep that sensation of the pelvis tilting forward so that you're not rounding your back. And flex your feet to feel the stretch more around your hips. And it can be quite an intense position. So try to breathe through that discomfort, trying to find ease and relaxation in the pose as well. Yeah, now slowly coming back up. Supporting yourself with your right hand to bring your left leg back. Hands behind you, returning back to center. Moving your knees left and right a few times. Good, and then returning back to center, bringing your feet together and knees apart. Now you can stay where you are, or you can turn maybe to the front of the mat. I'm going to turn just so you can see me better. And when you place your feet together, you want to bring them further forward. So you don't bring them close to your pelvis, but more forward, so that you're making like a square with your legs, or even like a the diamond shape. And then from here you're holding your ankles or your feet, whichever is easy for you. And on your inhale, lift your heart, and as you exhale, as you go down, keep that pull from the heart forward, as if your heart was pulling you towards the front of your mat, and then go down as low as it feels comfortable for you, keeping that length in the spine, noticing the sensation in your legs, in your hips. And again, find the comfortable stretch. Don't force it. Don't cause yourself any pain. Don't pull forcefully into the pose. Be gentle with your body, but still create some stretch. Feel free to close your eyes so that you can bring your attention inward, focusing on the breath. Good. On your next inhale, slowly come up. And as you exhale, bring your feet closer to your pelvis. So now keep them together, but bring them as close to your pelvis as possible. If you feel like you're leaning back too much and having trouble balancing, bring your feet further forward. So find a good position that works for you. Holding your feet, inhale, lift your heart. Again, press your knees away from each other. And as you exhale, lean forward. Again, your heart pulling you forward. Now, just the position of the feet changed, but also because of that, the stretch will change. The way you're feeling and experiencing this stretch will change. Try to notice the difference. Again, you're not forcing it, your face is relaxed, you're not pulling yourself forcefully down. And on your next inhale, you're slowly coming up. As you exhale, you can bring your knees together, extend your legs forward, give your legs a shake, wiggling your hips, releasing some tension. And from here, we're gonna make our way onto the back. Lying down on your back, bring your knees to your chest, just like we did before. Guide your knees with your hands apart, as far apart as you can. So separate them as wide apart as you can. And then from here, point your feet up for happy baby. So you want to keep your ankles above your knees. So don't bring your ankles out to the side. You just want to keep them over your knees, because then when you're reaching for your feet or your ankles, wherever you can reach, you're pulling your feet down, and by pulling your feet down, you're actually pressing your knee down towards the floor on each side. And create a pull that feels comfortable for you. Again, you're not pulling too hard, but a pull that creates a stretch, brings a stretch into your inner thighs, into your groin, into your hips. And stay with that stretch for a few breaths. Good. Now we're going to slowly release the feet, but keep your knees and feet as far apart as they are, and as wide as they are, you're going to lower your feet down onto the floor. So maybe they will come towards the edge of the mat. So the feet are now at the edges of the mat, or maybe a bit wider, or maybe a bit closer, but find a more wider stand here. And then hold the opposite elbows and bring the arms over your head by holding the elbows or lower arms, whatever you can reach. Bring your arms over your head like this, so you're opening the front of the body. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, lower your knees to the right. So you're not moving your feet, just lowering the knees to the right. You can also turn your head to the left. Notice the sensation. If this is uncomfortable, feel free to reposition your legs so that it is more comfortable for you. But what we're trying to do is move the stretch more into the front of the body and into the hips, especially into the left hip. On your next inhale, return to center. And as you exhale, lower your knees to the left and turn your head to the right. Noticing now the sensation mainly around your right hip. Feel free to reposition your legs, especially if this is uncomfortable for your knees. On your next inhale, return to center. As you exhale, release the arms. Slowly bring your knees now into your chest, hugging your legs and rocking side to side. Massaging your back, releasing any tension from there, especially from the lower back. And if there's anything else that you feel like doing now before the final relaxation, any other stretches or poses, feel free to do it. And then once you are ready, we'll meet in Shavasana. So extending your legs down, extending your arms slightly away from the torso, with the palms of the hands facing up, and closing your eyes. Taking a moment to notice how you feel after this more physical part of the practice. Now in this final relaxation, we allow for all those effects of the practice to really settle into the body, to really integrate. So just allow your body now to rest for a few minutes. Notice the sensations. Where do you notice the effects of the practice? Where do you feel it most? Notice how are your hips feeling right now? And just try to relax them even more. Try to relax your whole body. Allow your body to be heavy, to sink down into the support beneath you. Relax your feet and toes. Relax your ankles, your calves, knees, thighs. Relax your hips, the whole pelvis, the buttocks. Relax your lower back and your upper back. Relax your belly and your chest. Relax your hands and fingers, the wrists, the lower arms, elbows, upper arms. Relax your shoulders, and neck. Relax your face, your entire head. Relax your whole body. The whole body. The whole body.
Slowly bring your attention back to your body. Become aware of your relaxed body. Notice if you feel any different now, just after a few minutes of relaxation. And then start wiggling your fingers and toes. Gently awakening the body again. Maybe you want to rock your head side to side a few times. Maybe it feels nice to reach the arms over your head and stretch the whole body. Maybe you want to hug your knees into your chest again and rock side to side. Or any other movements that feel good for your body. Once you're ready, slowly roll over to one side, resting on the side for a few breaths. And then again, when you're ready, slowly return back to a seated position with your eyes closed. But we're just going to take a moment to notice how it feels now to sit in this position. If there is any difference, maybe compared to the beginning of the practice. How does this position, sitting position, feel for you now? For your lower body, for your legs, for your hips, for your pelvis, for your back, for your whole body. Noticing also if there is anything new that you've learned about yourself in this practice, any new lesson. And it doesn't have to be a big aha moment. Maybe it's just something small. Good. And then when you're ready, slowly open your eyes again. Thank you so much for practicing with me today and always.